G'day everybody. This video is, well, let me put some background on it. This video is the NPC, or the National Police Chiefs Council's memo that they sent in December 2021, or review date, sorry, is December 2021. It's version 1.4. It's something that Dino chucked us all in Deanology's live chat today, and I figured that seeing some police officers find it difficult to read, I might read it out for them. Now, we don't have this sort of crap in New Zealand. Yes, on the occasion, a police officer may come out and stop you when you're recording police. I know, trust me. But there's only 12,000 odd police officers. Well, sorry, between 8.4 and 12,000 police officers in New Zealand, and they do a very strict, stringent sort of intellectual tests, and of course if you reach too high you don't get in. So yeah, this is for those types that don't like to read, and I know I do have a lot of police watchers from New Zealand. Thanks for the thumbs downs, guys. But yeah, this is mainly for the UK audience. I've been spending a fair bit of time on the UK live chats with Deanology in the last lockdowns, so yeah, I found this was really interesting. And if you're going to go out and bloody well audit, if you can't save this video that reads it out to the idiots, then grab it. I'm going to leave a copy of this on my Google Drive. The link will be in the description of the video. If anybody needs it, click on the Google Drive link and go and download it. It's there for everybody to have. But yeah, it's a lot better, instead of just saying, look, there was a memo, didn't you read it, to actually pull out what you're fucking talking about. They want information off of you. Give them some. It's that simple. Anyway, without further ado, I'll read on. Now, this is security classification official. It was a FOIA request. Author is Helen Morder from the NPCC and Local Policing Coordination Committee Communications Advisory Group. It's sent to Media Relations APP, Public Order APP and Conflict Management, and as I said before, the next review date is December 2021. It's entitled Auditors, Social Media Bloggers, Initial Guidance. Alright. The National Police Chief Council has agreed to these guidelines being circulated to adopt police forces in England, Wales and Northern Ireland. Guidelines produced by the NPCC should be used by chief officers to shape police responses to ensure that the public experience consistent levels of service. The implementation of all guidance will require operational choices to be made at local level in order to achieve the appropriate police response. The purpose of this guidance is to assist force personnel to conduct themselves accordingly when interacting with self-proclaimed auditors and social media bloggers. This guidance will be updated and republished as necessary. Any queries relating to this document should be directed to either the author detailed above or the NPCC Business Support Office on 020 7084 8959 or 8958. Okay, and that's copyright 2020 National Police crummy cunts. Right, contents is number one is your order to social media bloggers. Number two is ACPO guidance of photographers, and like I said, 2010, how to respond to auditors and bloggers. And then there's powers, and then circulation of guidance. Section 1. Auditors, social media bloggers. 1.1. There is an increasing number of reported incidents with the United Kingdom regarding auditors and social media bloggers. The auditors or bloggers are members of the public who attend police stations, other public civil service buildings, including ministries of defence sites, or incidents with the purpose of capturing staff on camera and live streaming to social media platforms or uploading with edited content. 1.2. Auditing blogging is a behaviour that has common practice in the USA for a number of years and is developing a growing community of auditors, subscribers and viewers throughout the United Kingdom. 1.3. The auditors use security concerns surrounding the filming of staff and premises alongside limited powers to prevent it. They appear to provoke staff and site security into potential embarrassing reactions, often asserting that staff are overstepping legal boundaries. They are also well versed in their own rights and often cite legislation in their interactions with staff. Any perception they are under police surveillance is likely to be challenged robustly and potentially publicly. Auditors/bloggers should not be confused with hostile reconnaissance, which is by its nature covert. Hostile reconnaissance will cover and test security vulnerabilities, patrol routes, shift patterns, layout of a venue, and security practices. If you have reasonable suspicion that it is hostile reconnaissance, please report into your regional counter-terrorism unit. 2. ACPO Guidance for Photographers 2010. 2.1. Auditors bloggers have referred to the ACPO Guidance for Photographers 2010 document during some of their recordings. For the purposes of this guidance document, the following points taken from the ACPO Guidance for Photographers 2010 will continue to act as the same guiding principles. There are no powers prohibiting the taking of photographs, film, or digital images in a public place. Therefore, members of the public and press should not be prevented from doing so. We need cooperation with the media and amateur photographers. They play a vital role as their images help us identify criminals. We must acknowledge that citizen journalism is a feature of modern life, and police officers are now photographed and filmed more than ever. Unnecessarily restricting photography where for the casual tourist or professional is unacceptable, and it undermines public confidence in the police service. It undermines public confidence and trust in the police service is what it also does. Don't forget, with confidence comes trust. Trust and confidence, at least that's what the New Zealand police seem to like to fucking try and keep their heart on about anyway. Once an image has been recorded, the police have no power to delete it or confiscate it without a court order. 2.2. The College of Policing also has guidance that can be accessed through the Media Relations app and the Public Order app, which chief constables and local commanders may wish to use alongside this guidance. How to respond to police auditors. 3.31. It is important to remain calm and professional if responding to a situation where someone is recording a public or civil service premises and or staff. Their first interaction could be with anybody in policing, but it is likely to be front counter staff. It is equally important to have an appropriate response if questioned by these groups, with the knowledge that they are looking for an appropriate response by police or to be unlawfully detained. 3.2. When contacting such groups, remember that your first words will often dictate the remainder of the contact. 3.2. When contacting such groups, remember that your first words will dictate the remainder of the contact. Yeah, so don't be an arsehole, coppers. As with any contact. Exactly. So don't escalate. A professional greeting such as, how's it going today? How's it going today? Will often work better than, what are you doing out here? Or, why are you recording our police building? Remember that absent reasonable, and this is in red, remember that absent reasonable suspicion, this type of contact would be considered consensual, and to avoid any coercive, demanding, or aggressive questioning. 3.3. The individuals frequently ask if they are being detained, or what the basis is for their detention. Absent reasonable suspicion and appropriate would be to tell the person that they are not being detained, they are free to leave at any time, and they are free to continue with their activities. 3.4. If an attempt to obtain personal details should be made, the audited blogger must be informed that there is no legal requirement for them to do so. The exception to this, if there are reasonable suspicions of an offence is taking place or as part of a force's track and trace process, if they enter a police premises. 3.5. Some auditor bloggers also respond by saying they feel threatened or intimidated by staff. If they do, it is acceptable to ask them how your presence is threatening them. 3.6. Other law enforcement agencies have confronted such groups by saying that they received a call of suspicious behaviour by these persons. These groups immediately respond by what is suspicious about their behaviour. Be honest. If responding based on a call for service of suspicious persons, it is appropriate to say why you are there, such as a response might be similar to the following. Someone called regarding your activity. I would like to ask you a few questions about what you're doing here. You are not being detained and you are free to leave at any time. Some people find it suspicious and concerning that you are recording our premises and staff. I would simply like to find out what you are doing out here and also be able to reassure our community about what's happening. 3.7. If there is nothing suspicious about their behaviour, it is perfectly acceptable to respond as such. It is also acceptable to ask them what they are doing, why they are recording, and what their purpose is for recording such activities. It is especially important to note that when a caller taker is receiving and generating a call, it is especially important that when a call taker is receiving and generating a call for service concerning a suspicious subject or of suspicious activity, that the call taker obtain facts from the reporting party that articulate what is suspicious. It is of equal importance that the dispatchers relay these facts to responders. Okay? If the event is generated by a member of staff's observations, it is important that the primary responder clearly communicate the circumstances to other responders. Doing so will help prevent a detention being unnecessarily imposed. In the event that reason for a detention did, next page, not exist, effort should be made to capture these individuals with body-worn video. The event identification becomes necessary and to provide evidence of behaviours should a complaint be made. 4. Powers. Now this is where they get their muscles. Powers. 4.1. If you do feel the auditor/blogger behaviour may represent a genuine security risk or risk to the personal information of staff to be misused, be clear and confident of the powers at your disposal and clearly articulate why you are using them. Do not seize a camera or phone unless you deem it evidential. 4.2. Section 43 of the Terrorism Act 2000 should be a last resort, and only when reasonable suspicion exists you should consider other possible remedies such as Antisocial Behaviour Act 2014 if applicable. 4.3. consideration could be given to using powers under Section 136 of the Mental Health Act, and that's if it was felt the individual was suffering from acute mental ill health and in immediate need for care and control. And 5. Circulation of guidance. Circulation of guidance. 5.1. All staff should be briefed on this guidance. There have been incidents when unsuspecting members of staff have been approached when entering or exiting various parts of the building. Auditors bloggers will also notice any unintentional indiscretion, such as a defective car, uniform, etc., all of which can be uploaded onto their channel. Staff should not use any type of inappropriate or offensive language when interacting with auditors or bloggers. I don't think that got down the line too far to the actual. 5.2. Staff should report all incidents to local intelligence teams for information gathering purposes. Oh, well, this is beautiful, this. We've got 5.1, we've got 5.2, which I just read you. Oh no, hang on, we've got 5.2 again. All first-line managers of those who are recorded should be informed to help manage any welfare issue that arises. The Force's Cooperative Communications Department should be notified of any incidents in order to support any subsequent public confidence issues and responses that may be required. Anyway, guys, like I said, didn't want to drag it on for too much. So yeah, link is in the description. Download it, print it, have it with you if you're going to go out there and do it. Get yourself some knowledge and be empowered. Bye all. Much love to you. Bye.